Hi guys, this is actually a video that I have been wanting to do for ages. So tattoos are really, you either love them or you hate them, or you love them on other people, or you secretly kind of want one, or like my mum, you think they are rough and disgusting and you don't like them at all. Sorry about that, Sheila. A lot of you won't realise, but I actually have 13 tattoos. I got my first tattoo done when I was 16 years old. I got my last tattoo done about a month ago. So I wanted to do a video on why I love tattoos, which tattoos I've got and what they mean. And then also, I wanted to kind of help people if you're thinking about getting a tattoo, if you want to know what my tattoos mean, or if I don't know, you're on the fence with them. I thought if I do a video, then it will give you an insight as to what they mean to me and hopefully give you some guidance. Feel annoying? I've got something in my eye. This has been irritating when I'm trying to talk to you. Let's try and get that out. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, let's talk what tattoos mean. So each of my tattoos means something, and the one that doesn't holds a nice nostalgic memory. So I thought I would go through all of my tattoos, tell you what they all mean, and then I thought, yeah, we can just talk about it. I'll just gas away to you. You can get yourself nestled in, maybe get a notebook out if you want to make some tips and points. Mum, if you're watching, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, and I guess you're gonna hear stuff that I would have never told you in person about each of my tattoos, but there we go. So, this is gonna be awkward if you are watching, Mum. Okay, now let's talk that first tattoo. I feel like most people who have tattoos have this scenario where you get a tattoo when you're really young and you look back and you're like, what the hell was that? As I've said in my life lessons video, I never look back and regret anything, so I don't regret any of my tattoos. What's the point? It's now part of me. They do just become like a freckle or a birthmark. You just don't even see them and you kind of just get so used to them being there. If you're ever worried about regretting a tattoo, don't be, just strategically think it through. So my first ever tattoo was on GCSE results day, which means I was 16. I got my results, I went to a bar, got quite drunk, and went to a tattoo parlour. I had no idea what tattoo parlour it was. No one had recommended it. I just literally walked off the street with my friend. I made a decision there and then that I wanted a blue star on my hip. He didn't have any qualifications. It was a hair salon with a curtain pulled across and I had to lay on the bed. And he said, oh, I don't have any blue ink, but I've got green ink. Do you want that? I was like, sure, okay, that sounds cool. And so yeah, I got a green star tattooed on my hip. It's not my favourite tattoo, but I don't care that much. I don't want it covered up. I look back at it and I'm like, you were young, you were foolish, but it makes me smile and I'm like, it's been there for over 10 years. I kind of am over the fact that it's green. It doesn't actually bother me, and turns out my favourite colour is green, not blue, so all worked out in the end. So yeah, don't ever go to a random tattoo parlour. Don't ever get a tattoo when you're lying on a bed and there is a bulldog next to you, because that's not hygienic. I did that. And don't do it when drinking, because you thin the blood, so you bleed loads. Also, after the tattoo, don't go swimming. He didn't give me any of that advice, so I was swimming loads and it kind of messed with the ink. I picked all the scab, and so the tattoo has gone a little bit weird. But it is what it is. I don't regret anything. The second tattoo I got, 5 months later. I have a sun in the middle of my back. Now the sun, I actually knew I wanted something with an astronomy theme, because when I was very, very young, I had suns and stars up all around my room. And I love staring at the sky because I think it's like full of daydreaming, and you just, I don't know, sunshine means everything to me. So luckily, that thought has always stayed with me, but I did pick the sun off a board, and I went with a friend and she was like, I'll get the same tattoo, and we sat down. I had my tattoo and she backed out. Needless to say, we are not friends anymore, and we stopped becoming friends pretty soon after that. But I was smart. I got it done in the middle of my back because I thought, I'm gonna get other tattoos around my back, it's gonna be fine, which I have done. So if you are like 17, 18, really think carefully. Don't go for an obvious place, because trust me, when you get into your 20s and you get into your 30s, you are going to want to use those good places for really nice tattoos. So if you are desperate to get a tattoo, don't cover yourself. Also, don't wait 5 months between each tattoo. I would never do that again. Now, I have a rule that I will only wait a year minimum between each tattoo, because I feel that you need space to think about what you want next. It's very addictive. And I think if you want each tattoo to mean something, which after the sun, well, the sun does mean something, but really all my tattoos after that mean something and have great memories. Really space your tattoo appointments out. So after the sun, I then waited a fair few years, and I didn't get any tattoos until I was 22. I was on holiday in Thailand. I was with my best friend Lucy. All holiday she was like, nope, I'm not getting a tattoo. And I kept seeing them do it in Thailand with bamboo. And I was like, I really want one of these bamboo tattoos. We went out, I drank my weight in, I think, Thai whiskey. In Thailand you drink it out of buckets. So I was pretty steaming. And I went into a tattoo parlor and I was like, I want a star exactly like this. Pointed out a tiny little star, and I was like, behind my ear. I lay down, he did it, I didn't feel a thing. I sat up and I said, do exactly the same star on my foot. So I have a star up here and I have a star on my foot. The star on my foot, actually both of them are like two of my favourite tattoos. I have like this lovely memory of being away with my friend, being carefree, laughing loads. Stars are incredibly important to me, and I had them done before they got cool. I waited at least 2 more years, I think, until I was in Australia. Now in Australia, when I was there, I moved, I left home, like I literally moved to the other side of the world, and I made friends, I got a job, and I was like, I can live anywhere. I can literally do this. I'm very independent. And I was like, I am my own anchor. So I'm gonna get an anchor tattooed. I got an anchor in Brisbane, tattooed at the top of my back. I made the serious error of getting that tattooed just before going to a festival. So I spent the entire festival with the cling wrapped across my back, raving, and everyone going, oh look, that's a new tattoo. So yeah, a little word of advice there. Don't get a new tattoo whilst just about to go to a festival. Get it done where you can at least cover up the cling. And also don't get it done in humid heat. It was not comfortable. After I had the anchor, I waited, I think I waited 2 years, and I think I got some money. I think maybe I inherited some money, or maybe I won some or something. And I always wanted the gap in between the anchor and the sun filling in. I picked 2 swallows to go within the gap because I thought it's really nice swallows anyway with an anchor and a sun, but also when we were kids, we had swallows all around our house in the summer. They used to nest literally by my bedroom window. I had a little K and a little S put on each swallow for Ken and Sheila, because that way my parents are always with me wherever I go. And then kind of on a whim, I had the heart done at the same time as the swallows. I asked her, just as I was about to get the swallows done, I was like, oh, while I'm here, could I actually get a little heart as well? Because I love the thought of having a heart where my metaphorical heart is. My brother since has been like, that's actually not where your heart is, Julian. Your heart is like here, right in the middle. And I was like, well, not everyone thinks in a biological way, Nick. I say, that's my heart, right there. And then I didn't get any tattoos for a long time. I knew what tattoos I wanted at different stages, but they were so little that I didn't rush them, because when you go get a tattoo, you pay for the new needle and you pay for the time. So I knew a tiny tattoo is only gonna take 10 minutes to apply, yet you're gonna pay like £80 for it. So I thought, well, I'll bank that idea, and if I'm still thinking about it, then I'll get it done. So that's what I ended up doing until recently. I kept banking different ideas. So I had my grandma Mary's name tattooed on my wrist, but I've had it done in Braille. Not because she was blind, as a few people keep asking me, but because I don't believe that my tattoos are for anyone else. They're for me. It's my body. I'm the one who has to look at them. It's great if other people like them, but essentially I didn't get them done for that. I got them done because I want to remember that person or that thing or that moment, or have these things with me. And so, yeah, had Grandma Mary's name tattooed in Braille on my wrist. I thought about that since she died, which was, I think, 5 years ago. And I remember after she died, I remember being at her funeral and thinking, I really want her name on my wrist. I want her with me because she was an incredibly poignant figure in my life. We have so many happy memories together. I literally could cry. And I'm so blessed that I have all that gorgeous time with her, and I never wanted to forget it. So that tattoo I knew I wanted since her funeral, and I waited a very long time for that one. So I'm so happy I've got it now. And again, while we're on the topic of grandmas, so you may remember that last year I said things were a bit shit and I wasn't gonna YouTube, and then I had a bit of a break over Christmas because my other grandma died, Grandma Alice, and since, you know, Grandma Mary passed, and Grandma Alice and I became very, very close, and she was an incredible figure, always gave me the most amazing advice, and so I knew I wanted something that represented her as well at the same time. So I had the tiny little A put on the inside of my arm. Again, it's not for anyone else. This is my tattoo. These are all really, really easily hidden, and it's nice when people spot them and they're like, I really like that tattoo, what's it for? And I'm like, oh, this is an A for my Grandma Alice, this means my Grandma Mary, and it's just something that's entirely for me. So when you're picking a tattoo, it is really good to think of things that really, really mean something to you, and to just, yeah, go at it with a bit of soul. So then the last one that I got, because I got the Grandma Mary, the Grandma Alice, and then this one all at the same time, I had for my 30th. So the little moon means keep dreaming. The cross means always be positive. And then the triangle with the lines in the middle is a glyph. Now this is a glyph for be creative. So always dream, be positive, and be creative. That was a little birthday present to myself for my 30th because they are points in my life that I believe in. So now you know what all of my tattoos mean to me. Please take note that I have learned a fair bit along the way of having tattoos, and if you are thinking about one, please take on board my advice of really think about it, make it mean something, and also choose areas that are quite discreet. For your first one, it's pretty heavy going for a sleeve or going for something that's going to be really prominent. I personally like my tattoos being hidden because in a professional remit or in an area where, say I'm in a situation where it's very, very smart, then I can hide all of my tattoos. And I think that if you want to be taken seriously in terms of business and in terms of, I don't know, I just can't be bothered with judgment and looks and all that kind of thing. So I chose to have my tattoos in these areas. I'm also saving parts of my body, such as the inner bits of my ankles and the tops of my shoulders here, for when I have babies. And I'm also saving across here, maybe for something else. Like, I'm saving areas. I'm not going for everything straight away because I think you don't know what's going to happen in life. You don't know who's going to come into your life. You don't know what babies you're going to have. You don't know who's going to sadly pass. So just save some space, my friends. If you're thinking about what to get, try and think about what really means something. And it could be your mum's name, it could be an initial, it could be a symbol that means something. I think the next thing that I might get will be a rowan tree, leaf and berries, because my middle name is Rowan. So just always try and keep it so that it means something to you. Try not to pick anything that's really, really, really trend focused because it will date, and if it doesn't mean anything to you, you'll get really bored of it. And a great, great place to look at, which I wish had been available when I was like 17, is Pinterest. I literally sat and surfed Pinterest, not for designs, but more for the style of designs and also locations on body, because sometimes people get tattoos in places and you don't realise that you're like, oh, I forgot that part of my body existed. Like one of my best friends, Michelle, has a tattoo here and it says Wanderlust, and it's hidden, it's so hidden, but she travels all the time, she loves traveling, and it's such a cute tattoo. I have a lot of girl clients, like when I do spray tans, they put their hair up and they've got a tattoo right at the top of their back, and it's really, really, really tiny underneath their hairline, which I think is chic. There's my advice really for getting a tattoo. Just to recap, because I feel like I keep waffling on because it's something that's like bringing a lot of passion out in me. 1 year in between each tattoo, make sure it's got meaning, really research it, try not to follow trends, and don't regret it. And if you do regret it, cover it up, because there's no point going through the whole having it removed. I just think it's there, let it be part of you, and move forward. And remember, even my little green star means something and still makes me smile. And if someone doesn't like your tattoos, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed filming it. I feel like I've really spoken from the soul in this one. I love my tattoos so much and I can't wait to get more, but I'm gonna have a little break for now. I hope you like them. Actually, I don't hope you like them. They're mine. I like them. That's all that matters. I've loved having you with me. I've loved sharing this with you, and I will see you next time. Loads of love. Bye.